Greetings. So last night, Vocab Malone, along with David Wood and John McCrae, paid a visit to a GMS camp in Norfolk, Virginia, while they were in the middle of a live stream. And, you can see which video captures that on your screen, and I'll share a link to that in the video description. The discussion took place over the course of the last 22 minutes of their live stream, and then after they cut the camera, Vocab captured another 15 minutes of footage. So I'll also link in the video description to Vocab's Facebook video, which captures, their vantage point. But whatever the case, I thought this was a fun discussion, so I just wanted to show a couple of clips from it. Anyone who wants to watch the fuller discussion can visit the links in the video description, but just wanted to share a couple of parts that I found fun. And one of the first things they got into right at the opening was the question of why Vocab is going around and trying to initiate conversations, trying to initiate dialogue with these members of GMS who apparently just want to mind their business and not be bothered, right? So I thought it might be helpful to play Vocab's reply, which gets in a bit into the history of GMS, to a lesser extent the history of One West, and vis-a-vis, the Christian faith and so on. So here, let's listen to this real quick.
We'll let you go. Vocab. How you know where we was at? UCA?
You see, you listen,
Mr. John. John might reason.
You see,
Hold on, no.
I told you I knew where you are.
No, hold on. Have a nice night. Because you was on the Brothers Comment Board last night. So how did you know where we are? Are you CIA? No. Because we're not going to get into a debate with you because you've done this many a time.
Yes, I have.
There's no need for us to discourse with you. You've been to Sakari. You've been to SUK. You've been to our elders in New York. You've been to Dallas.
I know where I've been, yeah.
So what's your point to keep coming around these different camps? What's your point?
Like this. Before you guys were around, for years.
You gonna give us a spill on One West?
Yes. The old
We don't need a spill on One West.
Stand out in Times Square.
We don't need a spill on One West.
And they would
John.
challenge and say all the Christians are scared to debate them. No one could challenge them. The best scholars in the world were afraid of them.
Hey, I got a question.
So what happened is the church got tired of that. This is trash talking, right? And then once we realized, these guys are out here saying they got all the answers and we don't have any of the answers, we decided to bring it to you. And the way I got into it is because GMS Columbus was going in the middle of church services, in the middle of the service, saying, if you don't believe you're Israelites, da-da-da, curse, da-da-da, and then they would leave. And I heard about it because I'm from Columbus originally. So I said, I got to get into this because that ain't right. So it was GMS's fault.
Hey, look, I got a question for you.
That's a
we're not going to discourse.
So there you have it. That is the honest answer, and that's the true answer right there. You see, for literally decades, One Westers have been trying to pick arguments with Christians. And often different groups, the original group and then the splinter groups that splintered off from it, had long been saying that, that everybody was scared to debate them, that even the scholars of the world knew they were right and were scared to debate them. And there were challenges put out. GMS continued in that tradition, and, Tahar used to stand out there and say that he's willing to debate anybody. He doesn't care who it is, right? And it was only after Rukash Yar of GOCC did really poorly in a debate with James White that GMS started to pull that back. And it was only after Vocab started visiting GMS camps that suddenly they took on this stance of, why are you bothering us, right? We're just out here trying to mind our business and teach the Bible, and you're out here bothering us. But, the truth of the matter is that, again, they were seeking, I would say dialogue, but really debate, arguments, seeking to refute and embarrass Christians for decades. And as Vocab noted, Vocab himself is from Ohio, and the GMS Columbus camp, which is led by that guy, I think he calls himself Rex Ciencia, they were going and picking arguments with pastors outside their churches, right? So that's what caught Vocab's attention. If anyone wants to know what it sort of inspired Vocab to get into the Israelite spectrum, it was One Westers in general and GMS in particular. And they were attempting to debate Christians first. And it's only after Vocab got involved that suddenly now it's a stance of we don't want to debate We don't want to have any conversations. And honestly, I don't know. Part of me wants to say that's unfair, but I do recognize that people can change their mind. But if we're going to treat that as them changing their mind, at the very least, perhaps Vocab deserves some credit for ushering in that sort of a paradigm shift with GMS, right? I don't know. Food for thought. But on that note, I want to jump to another exchange in the discussion, that I thought was humorous.
But hold on, let me make this point again. You got to understand.
Yeah.
You have went to every major camp already.
I haven't been seeing y'all
You've
yet.
seen our elders. They're way greater teachers than us.
Yeah, and they didn't do too well.
And you, hold on.
Okay, quick confession. I confess that I found that pretty funny the first time I heard it. I may have laughed out loud. And for what it's worth, anyone who saw the exchange in New York City between Vocab and Tahar, or between Vocab and the group that was with him and the elders of GMS, I think everyone would agree that it was interesting, to say the least. But whatever the case, I just shared that for the fun of it, because I thought that was something, it's a little fun tidbit, a little fun snip to share. But now I want to move on to just one more clip, and it's a clip in which they discuss the question of how it was that Vocab was able to find their camp. He shows this incredible intelligence when it comes to finding these GMS camps. And so, they asked the question, is he perhaps part of the CIA? Does that explain it? And you'll also notice, you might notice, he makes a couple of interesting references to other topics of interest to me, but mainly the question here is going to be about his ability to find this camp, and I guess in general, other camps. Here, listen to this.
My first initial question was, how did you know we were right here? Are you CIA?
Now, you wanted to talk about the Bible. Now you want to ask that.
No, that was my first question, though.
Okay, then why didn't you?
How did you know we were here?
You then?
How did you know we were here?
Okay, it's very simple.
You CIA?
Let me answer the question. It's very simple. You guys go live from this location on a regular basis. I happen to be in town, and I'll tell you why I'm in town, to go out to Farmville to look at the sign to debunk it. And to go visit Pastor Kelly Richardson.
You are funny, bro.
And outside of Richmond, to show him he's wrong about the pews. And if you believe the meme, you're wrong about the pews too, but I still love you.
You are a funny guy.
That's number one. So since we had time after we finished filming those today, I said, hey, GMS Virginia, they're live. Where is that? And look, it says 7:30 right on the building.
So last
All
night,
I do is look up 7:30.
Hold on.
Simple as could be. And let me tell you something. You see Mr. Shawarma, turn around, the reflection's in the mirror.
Oh, wow, it's that deep.
It's that simple. So
okay, hold on.
Shawarma, there, boom, boom, done deal.
So last night when you on our other brothers' comment board,
I was going to talk to them, but...
You knew where they were at?
No, I didn't know where they were at. But if they would have said, come see us, I would have figured out where they were at.
We glad that you love us so much that you want to come, that you took your time out to come to little old Virginia camp. But you ain't gonna get nothing new from this.
Now let me tell you something funny about
John, you ain't gonna get nothing new from this.
Let me tell you something funny that happened last night. I put in the image from the camp last night into Google Images. Because sometimes Google Images let you drop in there and it'll tell you the location by visual matches. So
y'all gonna put us on the apologetic channel?
No, you're not gonna be anywhere. It just recognizes the image. It didn't recognize the street that they were on last night. You know what it recognized?
What's that?
The brother's garment was a woman's dress. So all the visual images were women's dresses that were for sale. I have the video.
But y'all tried to go find them.
No, I didn't go anywhere. They were ending right when I talked to them. So I wasn't gonna go down there.
Okay, well you answered the first, but now the second question.
There's the answer. 7:30, Mr. Shawarma.
Cool.
Boom, bada bing, bada bing.
Cool, let's do that.
Okay, so there you have it, and Vocab gave the honest answer, fairly straightforward answer, and I think it's pretty funny because this also happened when Vocab found the main GMS camp in New York. There was this idea that the only explanation for his ability to find these camps is that he's some sort of an agent. He's working with government intelligence agencies. When really these camps are fairly easy to find in light of the landmarks that appear in their live feeds. And it really isn't that difficult to notice Mr. Shawarma appearing, in the reflection of the glass that they're at, and then therefore knowing that they're right across the street from Mr. Shawarma. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully that deflates these sort of leaps to conclusions, but I doubt it will. Whatever the case, I just wanted to share that. I thoroughly enjoyed the very brief discussion that they had, and these are some of the highlights that I thought were particularly fun. If you're interested in seeing the fuller discussion, again, I'll put the links in the video description. And looking forward to more videos from Vocab. He churns out a lot of interesting material. He's certainly, as I said earlier, in a lot of different ways. His entrance into discussions with Israelites has ushered in a paradigm shifts in a few different ways. I'll put it that way. And but on that note, I look forward to the comments, questions, criticisms of anyone. Don't censor anyone here, so feel free to share your thoughts, positive or negative. And on that note, God bless.